بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله فاللهم اغفر لنا ولوالدينا ولمشايخنا والجميع المسلمين أجمعين. I ask Allah Azza wa Jal to make this lesson بإذن الله تعالى beneficial. But first and foremost, before that, I ask Allah Azza to make it sincere for His sake, Jalla Jalalu. I ask Allah the Almighty to accept it from us and to make it hujjatan lana la alayna, to make it a means that will testify for us on the Day of Judgment and not against us. As which comes in authentic narration, where the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Majtama'a qawmun fi baytin min buyutillah," that a group of people don't get together from the gatherings in the gatherings of the houses of Allah. And in another narrations it mentions, "Majtama'a qawmun," okay, meaning without the mention of the house of Allah. Okay, يتلون كتاب الله ويتدارسونه يعني فيما بينهم, that they recite the book of Allah Azza wa Jal, or they mention Allah Azza wa Jal, and they learn and they teach each other. إلا حفتهم الملائكة إلا نزلت عليهم السكينة وغشتهم الرحمة, except that they're covered with tranquility and the blessings of Allah and the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jal showers them. Okay, وحفتهم الملائكة, and the angels surround that gathering, whether it be in a house, whether it be in a center, in a masjid. But their main reason why they gathered together was to what? To learn about Al-Islam and to mention Allah's name and the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. وحفتهم الملائكة وذكرهم الله في من عنده, and that Allah Azza wa Jalla will make a mention of them in a gathering better than their gathering. And also another authentic narration, a long authentic narration, but I'll just mention the main point, that Allah Azza wa Jalla has appointed angels where they go out searching, okay, يبحثون عن ذكر حلق يعني ذكر يعني حلق العلم, okay, ومجالس الذكر, and they go searching for these gatherings of knowledge where people are gathering together to seek knowledge. Allah has appointed selected angels, and then they go back to Allah Azza wa Jal. So they sit in that gathering and then they go back to report it back to Allah Azza wa Jal. Although Allah Azza wa Jal Alimun Hakim already knows, and then Allah Azza wa Jal asks His angels, those that have been appointed, how did you find my companions? And what did they say back to Allah Azza wa Jal? How did you say back to how did you find my servants? How did you, Allah Azza wa Jal asks His angels, how did you find my servants? What would they respond? They would say, we found them reciting and mentioning your name, and we left them like that. And then Allah Azza wa Jal will mention and will say to them and ask them, do they know about Jannah and that which I promised to them? And the hadith goes on to mention, and then in the end the angels say that if they did know, then they would do more. So this in itself shows you the great reward of that which you will attain by being in the gatherings of knowledge. And they are the best types of gathering where Allah's name is mentioned. So with regards to this book, Ikhwani, the reason why it's important is because the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said in authentic narration, إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ لِأُتَمِّمَ مَكَارِمَ الْأَخْلَاقِ, verily I was sent down in order to perfect mannerisms. Okay, in order to perfect mannerisms. And it's something that was known about the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It was known that the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam had great mannerisms. As it was asked by Aisha radiallahu anha, كيف كان خلق النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في الحديث الصحيح, how was the characteristics of the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم? What did Aisha radiallahu anha respond? كان خلقه القرآن, that his mannerisms was that which you find in the Quran. That which you find in the Quran, that's how he was. So that's why it's important, especially if someone wants to seek knowledge. So the ulama, they have made different types of books which relates and refers back to knowledge, mannerisms. And some of these books have mannerisms of how to deal with the wife, how to deal with the parents, how to deal with the children, how to deal with neighbors. But with regards to this book, the Shaykh Abu Bakr Zayd rahimahullah, and he is a great Shaykh, he actually authored this book, and it was intended for those that are seeking knowledge, the students of knowledge that have the intention of seeking knowledge. So we'll be using two explanations, the explanation of Shaykh Uthaymeen and also the explanation of Shaykh Abdul Razak al-Badr, Hafidhahullah ta'ala. And may Allah Azza wa Jalla be pleased with all our scholars and have mercy on those that have passed away. So here it's mentioned al-adab. Shaykh, he mentions al-adab la budda minhu, that mannerisms, ikhwani, is very, very important. it's incumbent upon each and every single Muslim to have good mannerism, especially and more so to the one that is seeking knowledge. لذلك العلماء كانوا يحثون في بداية دروسهم عن الأهمية الأدب. Okay, this is the reason why the ulama, they would try their best each and every single time they begin their lessons. They will try their best to what? To encourage learning mannerisms, and they would always mention it. Why? Because لأن من طلب العلم, the one that seeks knowledge بلا أدب, without having or acquiring any sort of mannerisms and good conduct, حرم من بركته وفائدته العظيم, then they would be from those that have literally more or less deprived themselves from the great benefits, okay, and the blessings of this knowledge. And the example is like a tree, okay? If you see a tree and it's got a branch and it's got leaves and there's fruits that grow at the end. So a person could have so much knowledge, ikhwani. They memorize, mashallah, they have istihdar, they're able to tell you the proofs if you ask them questions in Islam, okay? And they have understanding of the religion, but they have no mannerisms. This is like a tree that has been planted and it has been rooted, but the seeds are corrupt, okay? Therefore, when it tries to grow its leaves and fruits, it doesn't get to that stage. So it's just a branch that has been left in the autumn and it is cold and there is no fruits that have coming and growing out of this specific tree. When you compare it to a person that has acquired knowledge, they may not be at the same level as the first one, but they have acquired and have some sort of acquaintance with knowledge. But what helps them is the fact that you see that they have good conduct, they have good mannerisms, so they're able to be a fruitful tree. And many people will benefit from this person. And it's known, and you can see it so many times, ikhwani. If you're a person where you have tried your utmost best to have good conduct, good mannerisms, when a lay common person that will come into a room and they want to see or take from you, they will look towards the way you carry yourself more, and before they actually listen to what you have to say, more than that which you look towards that which they have to say. And that's why it's known that, subhanallah, from the people of innovation, unfortunately, like the Sufiya and so many other than them, that those that are upon the deviance, that many of them have surpassed the people of the Sunnah in this, unfortunately. And it shouldn't be the case, ikhwan, because the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam was someone that had the best of characteristics, and so was his companions. And Allah says in the Quran, قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِي. Okay, if you claim you love Allah Azza wa Jalla, then follow the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But why they have acquired, those people that are deviants, they have focused on this, and that's why they're able to lure the people in with their good characteristics, even though they don't have any knowledge of Al-Islam, the correct knowledge. But that's why it's incumbent upon each and every single Muslim that wishes to get closer to Allah and to seek knowledge, to try their best to strive in learning good characteristics. In learning good characteristics. And the Shaykh Abdul Razak, he mentioned why? Because of the fact that this ilm is important for you to realize and to try your best to learn good mannerisms so that people can benefit from you and learn from you. Why? Because that is what they see, that is which they will take. As the great English saying goes, first impressions last. Meaning, if I was to meet someone for the first time, my dealings with this person, Tanveer, for example, or Muhammad or Ahmed, the way they deal with me is that which I'm going to remember for the rest of my time. Even if I know them for 3 years, but the first way I met them, someone will ask me, what do you know of him? What's the first thing that's going to come to my mind? The first time I met them. Or if you to meet them for 1 minute and they treat you in such a nice way, you remember them for a lifetime. Maybe you even make dua for them. What is that? That's you being good and having good mannerisms. So if you're good to a Muslim, if you smile at them, if you give them salam, if you help them, all of the ahadith that's been mentioned with regards to talq al-wajh, ibtisam al-wajh, sadaqah, ifshu salam baynakum, sallim ala man ta'rif wa ala man lam ta'rif, give salam to those that you know, those that you don't know, spread salam amongst yourselves. All of these ahadith is a means of what? The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, رُسُّوا كَمَا تَرُسُّ الْمَلَائِكَةُ عِنْدَ رَبِّهَا اسْتَوْوا وَاعْتَدِلُوا فَتَخْتَلِفَ قُلُوبُكُمْ. All of these ahadith meaning, be together as one body as a Muslim. All of these is to make you realize the importance of how the Messenger ﷺ was with his companions. He had good character, and that's why they were able to do so many things. They were able to triumph. They were able to conquer lands. They were able to make a change in the world. And that's why in the beginning of time, Islam had izzah, had honor, ikhwani. The non-Muslims will send their children to the lands to learn Arabic language because of the fact that how much honor and izzah they had in Islam. But nowadays, it's the complete opposite. Wallah al-musta'an. The Shaykh, he mentions, Shaykh Abdul Razak, he mentions, he says, كيف يتأدب, meaning it's important for you to realize how should you be with regards to your mannerisms when it comes to you seeking knowledge. When it comes to you in terms of your books, how should you be with regards to the way you treat your books and how you are with regards to reading the books. With regards to sitting in the lesson, there are certain characteristics with regards to sitting in the lesson. When you're in the lesson of ilm, when Allah's name is mentioned and the Messenger's name is mentioned, you should be and you should conduct yourself in a different way to if you were just speaking with your friends or your family. There are two different settings. One setting, ikhwani, is you're just discussing yourself, discussing with your peers or your family member, or you're having a laugh, or you're chilling, or you're relaxing, or you're conversating, so you could be how you are. But when it comes to you hearing Allah's name and the Messenger's name, then you should be different. Then you should be completely different, ikhwani. And also with regards to the students of knowledge, how you deal with one another, and with regards to your teacher, how you deal with your teacher, and with regards to how this knowledge should impact and reflect upon you, all goes back to your good characteristics. That's why some of the Salaf, they will say كاد الأدب أن يكون ثلثي العلم, that literally mannerisms has reached a level where it is a third of al-ilm. A third of al-ilm. So picture it as a big room where all of that room is filled with knowledge. A third of it is mannerisms. A third of it is mannerisms. So what is the meaning of al-hilya, ikhwani? What's the meaning of al-hilya? To what? To beautify, adornment. So when you adorn yourself with al-adab, good mannerisms, exactly. Okay, and the Shaykh, he mentions here, huwa zinat wa jamal, meaning it is the zina, beautification, okay, and jamal, the beauty, when you literally adorn yourself with good mannerisms. And the people, they see this is what the people, they see, ikhwani. They see this good mannerism, and that is what will last with the people, i.e. that which you've conducted yourself with, the mannerisms. So that's why it's very important, ikhwani, for us to realize that if you haven't been from those that have equipped themselves with good mannerisms, then you will be from those where the people may not even take from you or may not even respect you because of the fact that you haven't been able to have that good conduct. And inshallah, that's the reason why, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, this book is very important upon each and every single Muslim, especially those that wish to seek knowledge. And bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, we'll begin the first fasl.